You're serious, analytical, and tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist by nature. It's just the way you are. You make people as INTJs make brilliant scientists and doctors and mathematicians and strategists. And they value others who meet or surpass them in their abilities. And if you're interested in science, then you have a high regard for those people who are better than you are at your particular art or your chosen profession. You value others who meet you or surpass them, but you also see social niceties as unnecessary and even disingenuous. So in your mind, all these social niceties, if you call them that, if you will, these are things that you don't hold value in. You don't see the value of them at all. Although you do value structure and order and knowledge and competence and logic, these things are important to you. You analyze information from a contextual perspective, and you want to understand how these things fit into the world and to your world in general. You're extremely insightful, and you see things that are not obvious to others. You can work through things, understand them where others don't see anything. You get the whole point. You understand exactly what's going on. You can see a problem from many different angles. You're open to changing when you're shown a better way a better way to get to the end. You're open to change, and you're open to see take in new information and make new decisions. You have discriminate intuitions. You build ingenious systems to meet identified goals. So if you have a goal in front of you, you'll build a system or an ingenious way of approaching a problem and coming to a conclusion. So here's some of your weaknesses. You may be unaware or uncaring of how you come across to other people. And which is something that really needs to work on. You need to work on, because having other people in your life and be able to feed you with information, other people in your life that you can help with all this ingenious insight you have, is important. And you'll push them away if you're not careful to make sure that you come across as caring. And of course you care, but you can come across as somebody who doesn't care just because of your short and curt way of handling things. You dismiss input from others without really considering it. In other words, you have something set in your mind, something what you believe about a way that things work or the way they should work, and maybe you don't necessarily have a high regard for somebody else's opinion in this subject matter, so you might have a tendency to kind of ignore it or go past it, or just dismiss them altogether. You may find others at fault for problems in your own life, and just remember that if you accepted something else from somebody else and it wasn't right, well, you're to blame too. You should have never accepted it. So don't take somebody else's misgivings and believe that they're responsible for your problems. You're proud of your ability to be critical and find fault in people and things. And just remember, when you find fault in people and things, remember that to use them in a constructive, critical way, not in a destructive, critical way. You're intolerant of weaknesses in other people. Just remember that you have weaknesses, and the ones we're talking about right now are some of your weaknesses. So remember, you have weaknesses, so do other people. So find a way to be tolerant with other people who you do see as less accomplished than yourself in a lot of areas. And remember, you're not always right. You may believe you're always right, but you're not always right. This world is too complex. People are too complex to be able to get it right all the time. You can be cuttingly derisive and sarcastic toward others. Remember that to be sarcastic towards someone else is to put yourself in judgment of them, and so watch both that and your quick temper, how you blow up at people and how you hold grudges, and you might have difficulty in forgiving other people. Just be aware of that and watch for it in your life, and you're also sometimes unsure in situations that require quick decision making. And that's okay. Just remember to let people know that you need time to think things through, because you have a tendency to want to get all the facts ahead of time. And then you see tangents as something that blurs focus at the bottom line or the big picture. And so if you see people going off on tangents, bear with them a little bit, watch them go through the process, and factor it into your issues. Okay, here's some action items for you. Listen to someone else's entirely before passing judgment on it. If they've got an idea, listen to their idea. Listen to it thoroughly and understand it, and ask questions about it so you make sure you understand it. Before you get into take in a person's attitude and feelings, look at who they are, take in their attitudes before you ever begin on what you're doing. When you get angry, you lose. So when you start feeling these feelings of anger, settle down, take a moment, and make sure that you don't let yourself blow up, because you'll lose your opportunities when you do that. If you become upset, walk away and do not express anger. Just back away. Try to understand that everyone has something to offer. Seek first to understand them, and then to be understood, and then to judge, because only then will you have the correct perspectives. Explore science, mathematics, law, and medicine. Look into these areas as areas of life and areas of career opportunities that can be good for you and you do well in. Don't disregard other people's ideas, and take advantage of discussing ideas with other people. Handle disagreements and disappointments in a non-personal and dispassionate manner. Respect your need for intellectual compatibility. So when you're looking for friends, when you're looking for a mate, when you're looking for people, make sure that you have people that you're going to be close to that can stay with you in discussing things, and more importantly, that want to stay with you in the discussion of issues that are important to you. Don't dwell on the dark side of everything. You might have a tendency to look at things and see the dark side of it. Well, every once in a while, you got to stop and smell the roses. Look at life from an optimistic perspective, because you'll have a tendency to be very pessimistic. After all, you're a problem solver. And then seek and foster friendship with others of like competence and capacity for understanding. So find those people who are thinkers also. You're a